Welcome to Exploring the Ozarks, and I just remembered that I don't have my list here in front of me telling me what to say. But hey, we're going to explore things, and there's history and people and places. I say it enough. I have it memorized.
I think I could recite it if you want. Yeah.
And here's Matt.
Great.
I'm pointing at him now.
There we go. That's great. Well, we've talked about a lot, so I think I know where your head's at. And
thank you.
Thank you for the intro once again.
I totally
Dave.
forgot to bring that piece of paper with me. But
that's all right.
We were having a planning session before all this. So.
I think at some point I have this vision of people reciting it back to you someday on the street.
Yeah.
You know, like,
or they'll just point at me.
Right.
It's Matt. No, I'm not Matt. I point at Matt. That's what I do.
Well, I am Matt Graham, and thank you guys for tuning in again. We do appreciate it. And
yeah, always fun. Being
here. It's always good to have you guys here. And we're always we were just talking to our Patreons before this. So if you guys want to be Patreons, David hit him with it real quick, but you get special items
you want
like
to
we
be,
just did. So
Patreon, you get special items and things. It's patreon.com. You can go there and and there's a link in our description that you can click on. And basically, if you want to donate, not donate, but pay $5, $10, $25 a month, you get access to special content. We're working on merch. We keep on saying that, but eventually we'll have merch. And we'll
you're about to find out what's going on, so that helps too.
Yeah, and there's other things we'll do, but you just get recognition inside each of the episodes that we have.
Yeah,
it's just a great way to support us on our mission to explore the Ozarks.
Yeah, sometimes we actually have more fun before we actually hit this record button because we're both very scared of people and very shy individuals.
As you heard from the intro music, we have this huge audience out there.
And it's very difficult to keep up sometimes.
One of these days, Matt, we need to have one of these recording sessions at the Galois with a full theater.
Oh, hey, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
That is our new goal. So go to Patreon and give us money. And
even if there's nobody in the audience, we'll still have it up here.
What we need to do is we need to talk to Jeff and Joy, because Jeff and Joy of the Galois were on here at one point, and they have like senior days where they go in and show classic films. We should try to get in front of one of those.
Oh, there you go.
And then we'll have a full audience, and they won't know what's going on. They'll be like, "Who are these people?"
Yeah, and Jeff and Joy are rolling their eyes right now.
It's not Humphrey Bogart. It's not.
Who are these two guys?
They're too modern.
Maybe we'll entertain them, but Jeff and Joy just roll their eyes at us, I'm sure, watching this. But speaking of which, so we're here today to talk a little bit about where we've been the last 8 months at this point, since it's I'll be honest with you, it's August 10th,
and we've done so many things. Like we just had part 3 of Catherine Viacat and Myra.
Yes.
And they had Reveille, which, we had that here at the Springfield Studio.
Yeah, that was super awesome, man.
Did you enjoy that?
The screening, it was amazing. The theater's awesome. The sound was incredible, actually.
Yeah, it's some good. I got a good sound.
Yeah, you did.
I've had several audio engineers go through and be like, "Yeah, this is how you should do it." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, it worked. It worked. Those speakers are super loud, which helps because they use like live ammo and stuff like that in the movies. Yeah. So when you're hearing it, it sounds like you really are at war.
Catherine, we talked about on the podcast, some of the episodes about how she cooked for everybody. Mm-hmm. She did a 1950s, 40s style meal for us before the screening, and it was
so
delicious.
Good, man. It's so good.
I have to bring her back just to cook some of those food again. It was just amazing.
Yeah, it was, which was super unique. We had a kid here that was, helped be part of the film, I guess. He helped dig a couple holes for some of the trenches and stuff, and he was here in full World War II regalia, with his helmet and everything, his gas mask and all that stuff, which I've got pictures of. I'll send to you.
The movie itself was really good.
The movie was awesome. It was different than I expected, by all means. But the acting in it was tremendous, though. It was tremendous acting.
I agree with that. 100%.
Hard position to be in for an actor to. Well, you guys need to watch the movie to find out, but it is a hard position to be in and actually make that content sound good and look good. And they filmed it in a cave, for God's sakes. Yeah,
it was the story itself drew you in. Yeah, and you didn't know which way things were going.
And left you kind of hanging.
It was really well
too.
done.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch it, go to Amazon.
Reveille.
And Reveille are
Reveille.
Yes, that sounds correct.
Yeah.
You can also go to Reveille.com. They have all the information there, like how it was made and some of those things like that, and the director and everybody that produced it. And Myra's on there, and it's just the whole entire thing was a really cool project, and it was a great final episode for this year.
It really was.
What we're talking about.
Yeah, it was good because we're kind of. This chapter is just moving on to another chapter at this point. Yeah. So we're going to take a break for a little bit so you guys can kind of catch up, so we can kind of take a little bit of a break.
We said we were going to say take a break. But
that's
what we're doing.
They were on a break. But, just a simple
Anyway,
there
sorry.
it is. I figured you'd break it out today. We're not going anywhere. Trust me. This
and
is
it's
something
not really a break per se, too. It's more
No.
like we're taking time off to plan. So we're not going to do the podcasts as much, but we're going to be still doing Matt's Moments, and you'll still see new content come out. It's just
we're going to have a lot more content come out because exploring is what we've been doing lately, and that's what our goal was for this to begin with, was to go out and actually explore. So I mean, we've done it a couple times. It's just the middle of summertime, and it's tough to go do any of that stuff.
Well, and as we found out logistically, it's hard.
It is
to do that kind of stuff.
It is hard. You know?
So that's one reason why we're going to sit down and plan it out, because there's all these places that we've gotten great suggestions. Matt has all these places he wants to go to. We have all these fall festivals we want to go to. So
it's about that season, though. So
the podcast itself takes a ton of time to put together and produce and edit and bring people on, and especially the kind of schedules that we all have. So,
and the schedules they all have too, business owners and things like that.
So we're not going to leave you hanging, though.
No, you'll have plenty of content coming out that you might like better than just sitting and listening to us. But the stories that you've heard, over this whole course of 8 months, the stories that we've heard in this room, and the people we've met, and the people that we knew before but didn't know things about, has been truly eye-opening to me.
What's your favorite been so far?
Dude,
I'm putting you on the spot.
That is so tough, man.
I'll say mine while you think of yours.
Yeah.
Bob Dixon, having him on here was really cool. He's one of our first 3 guests, I believe.
Man.
And him talking about just the weird names that we have here in Greene County for some of the town names.
Yeah.
And then of course when you start digging into the history of some of those names, Phoenix is a town here in Greene County. I don't think you mentioned that one, but there used to be the Phoenix Quarry over there.
I think he talked about it after the show or before it or something.
Potentially, Or I may have brought it up. I don't know. But it's just the history of that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple other places that we talked about that inspired Matt to go and get a book on.
On the funny names. And we need to do that too, actually.
Yeah.
I might just sit down on a Matt's Moments and start reading that at some point.
Really, that's a great idea.
I've been trying to bring it in, but it's hard for me to say that I have a favorite, to be honest with you. I've got friends involved in this, okay? I got to keep them. Now, as far as how we've maybe gone a step further with some guests, like Tim Ernst, and I think if people knew more about Tim Ernst, they would know how big of a deal he really is.
I think you fanboyed over that so much that it had to be your favorite.
I think so. I think that's what it was. You used the F word, didn't you?
I did.
All right. Jeff and Joy are always fun to have on a show, and just listening to the history of things that you talk about in the intro is exactly what they did with us. Brandon Beck was super funny.
Oh my goodness! I mean, for whatever reason,
that's probably where I've laughed the hardest.
I laughed the hardest on that one.
Yeah.
And we got answers to some of the weather phenomenon. We're getting the river, what were those called? The atmospheric rivers.
Atmospheric river.
Which in California, those were amazing.
Yeah. But, Wayne Rader, one of our first people on here.
Our first person.
And probably the biggest character we've had on here, and he passed away, a week or two later?
A week later.
Right?
I talked to him a couple days before he passed.
I know, and I was at Pappy's right before that, too, and it was just so wacky that
he was
happened.
Excited to show it off, but he had a big personality.
Yeah.
And, I've actually become pretty good friends with his widow, Susan.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I go over there. Not frequently, but
a
couple times a month when we chat and talk about things and talk about Pappy's. And
Shane Taylor taught us that there's marshmallow Pepsi in wherever that was. Where was that? Where was that? Eldon, I believe. Eldon, Missouri.
Yeah.
I still have yet to make that, but I saw that video the other day and I was like, oh man, I forgot I need to do that. Yeah. So marshmallow Pepsi.
So what
Boston Dynamics though?
Dude. That was a huge one.
I'm like, God, are you kidding me?
I was so surprised just to even meet somebody from Boston Dynamics here in the Ozarks, and then find that one of their salespeople lived here and wanted to come on the show with their robot dog. I was surprised that didn't get more views than it did.
Dude, I am flabbergasted that didn't happen more too. And because I literally almost every time I get on anything now, internet anything, there's always a video clip that someone's advertising of Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shoot, we had them on our show, so it feels cool to know that we did that. Now go watch the damn show so you can actually see what we're talking about. I mean, these guests that we have on here, there's not hardly anybody in Springfield that has these people on their shows, and you guys get it. But you need to be able to see it, right? So,
and your friends and your coworkers would probably like it. That's one of the things we're asking too right now. So, all these things that Matt and I've been talking about, that's a good recap of some of our most popular shows, right? And then some other ones that we've had.
Right.
They're all good. Let's be honest.
Jeff
they're all pretty good.
Amanda Hanus is probably one of the most incredible people
She's
I've
been
ever
back
met.
in the studio giving presentations on her trip.
Yeah, and just knowing that she was on, those two rivers all the way by herself
Missouri
and her
and
dog in Missouri, Mississippi, and make it out there and come out
6
with
months.
Dude, that's insane to me.
Camping on the
Stop to watch
river.
a Kansas City Chiefs game,
Yeah.
But she also has a different side of her that I want to have her come back on and talk about, Amanda. That she didn't tell me anything about going to Iraq and what she went through in Iraq and how awesome she is and how much of a badass she is. You wouldn't think that from this little
She told me a story
what, 5'4", 5'3"?
5'4"-ish, yeah.
Okay.
She told me the story about how she was a crew chief on a Chinook or one of those big transport helicopters, and
Huge.
she had to walk behind the helicopter as it was taxiing back and have it with a fire extinguisher. Spraying down the brake fire that was going on so that it didn't burst into flames. That's just something that she did. It's that's something everybody does, right?
Yeah,
Come on, Amanda.
Yeah, you're flying into Saddam Hussein's backyard and his palaces and things like that. No big deal.
Yeah.
And also running a 50 caliber or something like that. She said so.
She's
she
an
was
amazing
a
person.
Bronze Star medalist. I mean, those types of things she didn't even talk about that we've got to explore. So
we mentioned all these things. So we're not going to take a ton of time on this episode.
You're right.
We mentioned all these things because we are going to be boosting these podcasts over the next 4 months during our planning period. We're not going to leave you hanging. We've got new content, and then we're going to publish our highest viewed podcast.
Well, and I think
what we need from everybody watching is to share, like it, and share it, and let your friends know about it. Because at the end of the day, that's how we're going to get more interesting people on here, and get more people to get their stories exposed to people in the Ozarks.
It's going to be hard to top who we've had, to be honest with you.
You'd be surprised.
But and that's the thing is every time we do a show, we get led to someone else or something else, and then we stumble upon people like Boston Dynamics.
Well, here's what I always say though too is that everybody has a really interesting story.
Absolutely,
it's just a matter of bringing them in here and talk to them about how their life's been.
Right. Right. We've been fortunate, and I've still got a lot of irons in the fire. And honestly, this break is really to recoup and regroup too of our time that we spend on this and getting the right people in here, because I've got so many people that have reached out to me to want to be on it, or I've reached out to them that are, we're just trying to figure out a schedule. So
just look at the notes right here, just from this one episode. So Matt takes all these notes during every episode about things we should be doing. So we literally have a list. Probably, I think that I have a stack of 20 papers right there.
At least
that we're gonna
probably
go
30, one from each episode. So, to recap with everything we've done in those shows, that's when I'm really thinking about these people and what they're saying and what it's leading us to. That's how we keep getting a lot of these good guests, and we keep getting ideas. We want more ideas. We want you guys to be involved too, but just to show you who is involved and how it's being involved with or used at this point. We're going to hit you with the top 12 here soon, so you guys can watch some of those. We'll have a lot of shorts you guys can check out too. But so far, we've had over 37,000 interactions on social media. And to me, the views, like we talked about on Facebook earlier, don't really show you the reach this has had. So this is really humbling to even see, to be honest with you. Some boosted, some not, but even some that weren't are doing really well.
And some from some of our collaborations, like having Chad Bay on here, he's been great.
Chad Bay is awesome.
Talk to. Tim Ernst been great. Was great to talk to, and he shared our stuff.
Well, and we're developing relationships
Danny
with
Collins,
those people too. Danny, I think we've got bigger plans for, and I think he would probably be up for it. So hopefully you're listening, Danny. But I'll hit him up soon. Don't worry. But the exploring part is what we were kind of getting at earlier, and the exploring part is fun for us too.
Should we talk about some of the places we're thinking about going to?
I think we should. Yeah, I mean, and there's just always
that abandoned
more
resort that you know about.
I can't wait to tell the story about that place. I'm working on access to it because it is kind of blocked off now.
We got the largest house in Southwest Missouri that's being built right now down near Highlandville as well. We can talk about that a little bit.
Yes, so
we got some festivals, falls festivals we may be going to. We got the Buffalo River.
Yeah,
we got all these. Danny Collins mentioned 1,300 places they have on Google Maps marked out, and so we're hoping to talk to him and get some really cool, intricate, and really historically
accurate, stuff that we can go check out. Yeah, because I'm going to be in Bentonville here soon too. So a lot of people don't know that Bentonville has blown up to be like the city everybody wants to be. Like Springfield's trying to mimic themselves after Bentonville. Because
I remember going there like 10 years ago.
Nothing there.
Like, there's nothing at all,
dude.
And then I hear about how there's all these cool things and huge acts are going there. It's like, what the heck happened in Bentonville?
It's all brand new too. Walmart happened in Bentonville is what happened.
Well, that's
that's when
something about having all that money to invest invest in the
corporate.
community, right?
That's also where like their big shipping comes out of. So there's a lot of money there. You drive around and all you see is like, you know, these companies that you've bought all these products for over the years, like Duracell, Hasbro, Mattel, you know, even down to Haribo and places like that, all have offices there. Yeah. Like you drive through there and you're like, oh God, there's Mattel, there's Hasbro, there's Haribo, there's, you know, whatever. There's just all these companies are there. So there's a lot of money there. And it's a really pretty venue that we go to for concerts that I know a lot of my friends go to it, but I think a lot of people still don't know about it. So it's that kind of stuff we want to bring you guys and let you know what's out there in the Ozarks so you can go explore it yourselves. Now,
that's what all this planning's for.
Some places I'm not going to tell you where it's at, and that's so you guys maybe pick up a map or pick up an app on your phone of All Trails or something and start going out and looking for yourself and finding these things. It's taken me 42 years to compound these things, you know. So you guys are getting a fast track to things to do in the Ozarks. So call me and thank me after you go to these places, but
or write it in the comments.
Please. Write in the comments, share it out. You guys, I think you'll like it a lot. But I think it really just says that you know, we've done 30 shows so far, and that's a lot to come out with. You know, it's been once a week. We've been hot and heavy. Site. We're going to let you guys catch up to everything we've done. Really, I think we've got a lot of good content in there, and I think the break is really more for that. To be honest with you, it's just to let everybody catch up. There's been a lot on the page. We've got over 1.1 thousand followers now on Facebook, which is amazing. That's super awesome. And so, you know, big thanks to Ken Childers. He invited a bunch of people to it. And I think they all actually joined it. So that was cool. We need more people like you, Ken Childers. But
please, people that are watching, please like, share the page and ask your friends to like it. And share some of the content that you really like, because that's what's going to get more people following this and get more traction for what we're trying to do, which is, you know, share the stories and experiences in the Ozarks. And
events and stuff. You talk about events, but, you know, this is also the land of nonprofits. And there's a lot of events and fundraisers, 5Ks, what have yous, that people are putting on that we need to know more about. I mean, like with Ken Childers, he's with Sertoma, and I need Sertoma on here to come talk about some of their events that they have.
A really big event.
Why they do it, because not a lot of people know what Sertoma does with all this money. So
they have a lot of big events.
They benefit a lot of people and do a lot of good. You know, I'm with the Lost and Found Grief Center, and I've got a sidewalk chalk contest coming up September 9th at the Nixa Center that I want you guys to come bring a team and actually come and, you know, do some sidewalk chalk. I've got some professional artists coming to do some pieces and stuff, so that's cool. Francois Levrivier is one of our guest chalk artists that's going to come do some stuff, and he's going to he's going to help people as he goes along. He's going to try to give people tips and pointers or whatever and stuff like that to kind of help them fine-tune some of their artwork and stuff. So that's pretty cool. But that's just an awareness campaign. That's not really a fundraiser. So I can talk about it right now. We'll have flyers out soon. But otherwise, you know, 30 shows, 37,000 interactions. Guys, thank you guys so much for all the interactions. And all of our guests have been absolutely amazing. John De La Torre also has his segment on Everyday Ozarkian that we're going to try to boost up. Dude, hold on. That first video he did was one of the most comical things, but was super awesome. That guy that was telling the story about the joke about the angriest man in Arkansas. Was the most animated person I've ever seen, you know, just as a regular. This is just an interview with me and you hanging out. And that guy goes off, and I thought that was one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen.
Some people are just natural born storytellers.
That guy is 100%. But, you know, that's the kind of stuff I think that this world is missing at this point. You know, we're hoping that this brings you guys some happiness and gives you a little chance to get away for a minute in your own head type thing. But
well, any last words before we go off the air?
Oh, man.
Well, not off the air all the way, but that's these new podcasts.
Well, so I watched the movie Air over the weekend about the start of Nike Air Jordans.
Oh yeah,
right. Okay. And they say that the term "just do it" came from when they would be basically hanging someone back in the day. There was a really well-known gentleman that got hanged, and his famous last words were, they said, "Do you have any last words?" And he said, "Just do it." And that's where they got their that's where "Just Do It" came from for Nike. And I was like, okay, well, any last words? You said that. I'm like, just do it, you know, get it over with. But no, I thank you guys so much for
do it, just share it,
helping us out, and all the interactions, and we'll keep the episodes coming for some outdoor stuff. We hope you guys really like it. And I guess at this point, we just like to say, keep exploring the Ozarks. Thanks again for listening to Exploring the Ozarks. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our social media channels to help us keep exploring the stories of the Ozarks. If you're looking for more ways to support our show, we have sponsorships for businesses and Patreon for individual supporters. Check the links in the description for more details. Thanks for your support, and keep exploring the Ozarks.